Hello, Stitchy friends! How's everybody doing? Today is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. My name is Andrew, this is my dog Winston, and you are watching The Runner Stitcher. This is a channel where I primarily talk about my cross-stitch journey, but also a little bit about running as well. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see. We'll get into a lot of the projects that I have with cross-stitch and chat a little bit about my running journey, and I hope you enjoy it. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to spend a little bit of time with me and see what I'm up to with my WIPs, my works in progress this week. Yeah, it's just great to have you guys back. I love this community so much, and it's been so much fun to connect with all of you. So today, let's just jump right into what I've got. I'm going to talk a little bit about running. I'm going to talk a little bit about the giveaways from my 4,000 subscriber video. And then we'll jump into WIPs. I think I have 11 WIPs to share with you today. So we'll see how fast we can get through them. No new starts, no finishes, but lots of WIPs. Then we'll get into a little bit of plans. And some of the plans involve a little bit of haul, so we'll discuss that towards the end. And yeah, that's what I've got for you today. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good day. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on, and the election is today here in the US, and yeah, there's just a lot going on. So I hope you're able to sort of take a breather and not let everything stress you out too much. We'll see what happens. But yeah, try to remain positive and not let it stress you too much. Okay, so let's jump right into running then. The last time I spoke with you, I had just finished the Chicago Marathon and shared all that exciting news with you all. And I had told you that I did not think I was going to be running the New York City Marathon. You know, the Chicago race was really tough for me, and the thought of doing another one 3 weeks later, I just was not in the right headspace, wasn't really feeling it. However, I guess something changed in the last 2 weeks since I saw you. And as we got closer to the date, I kept thinking, you know, maybe I should reconsider. Maybe I should think about doing it. So I guess I sort of have a surprise finish, but this time it's a surprise medal finish. I actually did run the New York City Marathon this past weekend, and here is the medal for that. 2024 New York City Marathon. It was a last-minute decision for me, honestly. I decided to do it I probably officially decided to do it on Friday, maybe even Saturday morning. I was still going back and forth, but in the end, the weather was going to be too perfect. I couldn't pass it up. And they actually had some really good merch at the merch when I picked up my bib. And so I bought some, and I was like, well, I have to run it now if I'm going to buy the merch. But anyway, I ran the race. I decided that I was only going to run it for my enjoyment. I wasn't going to look at my time. I wasn't going to compare myself to anyone. I just wanted to enjoy the race. And I'm happy to say that's exactly what I did. There is really something special about the New York City Marathon. Running through the city, especially when you live here, but even if you don't, running through the city, it's just electric. The crowds are massive the entire way. And on Sunday, we had just beautiful, beautiful weather. The sun was shining. It was like low 60s, upper 50s. There was a nice cool breeze. It was perfect for running. And I actually didn't have a moment during the race where I thought, why am I doing this? And I just felt good, and I really, really had a lot of fun, so I'm glad I didn't miss it. My time for this one, as you'll see on the back here, was 4:13:12. Sorry about the glare. It's kind of hard to show, but they did metal engraving for this medal as well, so I got it engraved. And yeah, so that means 4:13:12. I was in 23 out of 55,521 runners. I was number 23,810. So that is pretty good for a race where I was not even looking for time. The exciting part is that means 4 hours and 13 minutes and 12 seconds. That's 20 minutes faster than I ran Chicago 3 weeks prior. So in Chicago, I was more focused on my time. So that just goes to show sometimes when you just let the stress go, don't put the pressure on yourself, you can actually excel even more. So I was absolutely thrilled that I beat my Chicago time without even really paying attention to it that much. And just thrilled to have an enjoyable race where I felt good the whole time. And yeah, it was just great. I'll try to put a picture up, or maybe I already put it up while I was talking, but yeah, wanted to just share that all with you. And because it was so last minute, I didn't do any sort of stitching challenge or anything with this one, but in the future, when I have more of these, there will be more challenges coming, so stay tuned for that. But this was such a last minute decision that I decided to do, so yeah. And as far as upcoming running things, the rest of this week, I am relaxing. I'm not running at all. 2 marathons in 3 weeks is a lot, and I need my body to rest and recover right now, so this week, I will be taking the week off. I do have a 4-mile race. I think it's Thanksgiving weekend here in the city in Central Park. So I'll be doing that one. And I think that is my last race for 2024. And then we'll sort of jump back into the racing calendar in 2025. I've got a half marathon lined up in January, potentially a half marathon in March, and a few smaller races in between that I'll keep you posted on. So yeah, I'm really happy that I decided to run the New York City Marathon. It was just so great. I also got to start, usually I start in the first wave. This year I started in the second wave, so I started at 9:45, half an hour after the first wave, but I was in the first corral, in Corral A, which meant that I was actually at the very front of the start line, which I've never been before. Typically, I'm like all the way at the back of my start wave, and so you can't even really see the start line when you're waiting to begin, and you can't see what all's going on with the festivities. This time, I was front and center, right at the start line. I got to watch the ladies sing the national anthem right beside me, and it was amazing. And going up over the Verrazano Bridge from Staten Island, the bridge was empty because we were at the very beginning of the corral, and that was just a totally new experience, which made it really fun. So, of course, I had my cheer squad. My boyfriend came and cheered me on again with amazing signs, as always, and that was really helpful. And yeah, we had a really great race. So, okay, enough about running. We'll move on to why you're really here, and that's cross-stitching. Before we get into my WIPs, I did want to talk about the giveaways from the 4K celebration that I did a couple weeks ago. So I gave away 4 prizes, 4 giveaways, and one of them's been claimed. That one's been sent off and in the mail, so that one is good. One of them, the winner of the Angels patterns, kindly wrote to me and said that they will decline because they know the shipping will be way too much to where they are. So they're going to decline the giveaway, which means I was able to pull another winner for the angel patterns. And just to remind you, the 2 patterns that we have here are Coventry Angel. These are Marbec patterns, and also the Angel's Prayer. And that one's by Marbec as well. So for those patterns, I chose a new winner, and the winner was, I'll put the comment up here, but it's lbacon4169. So lbacon4169, if you could go ahead and send me an email to therunnerstitcher@gmail.com, and send me your address, I will get those in the mail to you. Then for the other 2 giveaways, I haven't heard back from the winners yet. So for the Lily of the Woods pattern, that is here by Mirabilia, I finished that and was giving away the pattern. The winner of this was Sue Fisher 5060. So Sue Fisher, if you could get in touch with me and send me your address, I will be happy to send this in the mail to you. I am going to give just 2 more weeks to claim this pattern. So if I don't hear back from you by the next video, then I will go ahead and draw a new winner from that previous video. So Sue Fisher 5060, if you could get in touch with me, that would be great. And then I also did not hear back from the winner of the Comfort Lighthouse pattern. That is this one by Carriage House Samplings, another pattern that I finished and was giving away. So the winner of this was Janet Fraser 8317. So Janet Fraser 8317. You are the winner of this pattern. If you could also get in touch with me in the next 2 weeks, I'll be happy to mail this out to you. And again, if I don't hear back from you in the next 2 weeks, I will be drawing a new winner on my next video in 2 weeks to pick a new winner for those patterns. So that is the giveaway update. Okay, now let's get into my WIPs, into the cross stitching while you're here. So as I said, I've got 11 WIPs to share with you today, and most of the reason for that is the Great British Bake Off game that I'm playing. It's kind of forcing me to rotate through my WIPs more, which is nice. I'm liking that for a change than what I had been doing previously, but I don't think I'm going to stick with this forever. It's kind of overwhelming to be switching my WIPs so often. It's like just when I really get into a pattern and want to keep going, then the stitch count is done and I need to switch to the next one. So I'd rather sort of keep that momentum going on a piece that I'm enjoying working on until I'm not enjoying it anymore. So I think that will kind of sway my plans a little bit for the new year, for 2025. But for now, I am enjoying it, and it's been a lot of fun to go through them. So the Great British Bake Off game is one that Jessie Marie Does Stuff created, and I sort of have tweaked a little bit to make it fit my schedule a little bit better. I've got my notes over here, so that's why I'm looking, if you're wondering. But since the last time I saw you, 3 more eliminations happened, and for me, those WIPs were Autumn Quaker, Woodland Enchantress, and the Christmas Wonderland Sal. So those 3 patterns will no longer be in the bake-off and no longer eligible for more stitches. But okay, so let's jump in. The first one then is Woodland Enchantress, and for an elimination, that means that I need to put in 500 stitches for the pattern. And there we go. You want to get down, bud? Okay, so Woodland Enchantress, as you know, whoops, upside down. This is a dimensions kit. I'm using all the called for, so the fabric that came with the kit, the floss that came with the kit, everything from the kit. So I'm still in the background, but adding 500 stitches, I was able to get a much bigger chunk of the blue tree section done. So I was working in over here and got a lot of this blue done here. I also worked a little bit here and got some of this darker blue completed, but this is where what it's looking like so far. I really love this piece, and honestly, I cannot wait to get into the woman and her dress. She is going to start about right here. Some of these places here are touching her dress, so I'm not too far from getting to her, but I love the dimension in this kit. They really have a fun way of using a variety of number of strands to create that dimension, and when you pull this picture back, even this tree just looks beautiful, but now to see sort of this second tree coming in here and the white of the sky and the snow behind it, I just think it's beautiful. And it will continue to sort of expand that as we go further. So yeah, that is Woodland Enchantress. Now, unfortunately, you won't see this again for a while because it was eliminated from the Bake Off Challenge, and there's no plans for the rest of the year to pick this up. So maybe in January we'll get this back out, but for now it will go away. Okay. Okay, next up we've got a project that was not on the Bake Off Challenge, but was more just to stitch on for Halloween. This is the Festive Frosted Pumpkin Cottage. Festive Frosted Pumpkin Cottage by the Witchy Stitcher. Let me see if I can find... I want to see if I can find an image. No, I don't think I have an image ready, but I'll pop up a picture here so you know what it looks like. I am stitching mine on an 18 count Ada from Oblong Meow. I think this is called... I can't even remember what this is called now. Let me see if I have a card. Well, I'll put it in the slide. I don't remember what fabric this is called. I know it's 18 count and I know it's Oblong Meow. So since the last time you saw it, I was able to complete a little bit more of the top of this house. I put in this cute little Christmas ghost, which if you can see here, has a little Santa hat on. It's kind of hard to see the red hat, but it's there. And then I worked on a few of the windows here, which is an orange variegated floss from Roxy Floss Co. So I'm sort of doing my own little conversion on this, just with all the floss that I had in stash. So some of this is the called for thread, some of it is not. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. I think once the whole house is complete, it's going to look so fun on this fabric. This fabric is pretty true to color, what you're seeing right there. And yeah, I just think it really works for the Halloween theme. And this cute little festive ghost. So you may have seen that already on my Instagram. I did post a picture of that as I was working on it on the 31st. But I was able to add, for that one, I was able to add 270 stitches, and that puts me at 7.59% for the project. This lives in my very cherished bag from Sarah's Stitchy Spot. Thank you, Sarah. It's getting great use, and I love putting it in this project in this bag. Yeah, that's great. I forgot to say, for Woodland Enchantress, I was able to add 628 stitches. That puts me at 21.17%, if you're interested. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Winston, you're gonna have to get down. Say bye to everybody. Bye. Okay, so the next one was Mermaids of the Season Sal. This was a sal by Bella Filipina last year. I'm stitching all 4 mermaids, but I'm stitching each mermaid in the season that they're in. So we are in autumn, and I am stitching on the autumn mermaid. Since I last saw you, I put in 414 stitches, and I'm at approximately 20.16%. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but I am doing the skin 1/1 conversion. So those 414 stitches are actually probably a lot more because there's 4 stitches for every one of her skin. So I still have a little bit of skin to do down here. This will all be filled in with a darker color of her skin. And then I think this low point right here, that is where the tail will start. So I still have a lot of work to do on this one. And like I said, I do want to finish this by the end of November so that Christmas stitching can happen in December, and only Christmas stitching. I'll get into that a little bit in plans. But yeah, my goal is to finish this in November. And so far, I think she's just looking beautiful. I've really been enjoying her. I've done each mermaid a little different with the skin. The spring mermaid, which is up here, I did 2 strands over 1 half cross. The summer mermaid here, I did 1 strand over 1 half cross. And then for the autumn mermaid so far, I'm doing 1/1 full cross. So each of their skin will be a little bit different, which I think kind of works with, different skins. I don't know why that thumbs up just came up, but likes it too. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. I think she's looking good. She does have a lot of work to do, so I gotta keep bringing her out. But once I get through the skin, that's the hardest part because it just goes so slow. But I do think it's looking really nice. So, and again, I was able to get a skin and hair conversion for the Autumn Mermaid from Catherine. I'll link her channel down below, but she was so sweet to give me the conversion that she had done on hers, which I saw on her Flosstube and just loved. And so she was gracious enough to give me those conversions, which just changed the hair a little bit, and the skin in the original one was more gray colored, and so now the hair and the skin sort of match a little bit better. But that is Mermaids of the Season Sale. And again, my goal will be to finish the Autumn Mermaid by the end of November, and then I probably won't start the Winter Mermaid until after January, because I do want December to be focused solely on Christmas stitching. But okay, the next WIP I've got is Gaia the Earth Goddess, and this got 618 stitches since the last time you saw it, putting me at 27.59%. And here is where she's at now. She's looking so good, and we are almost at this blue section. We're so close. I think I've just about completed the bottom page, the bottom right page. And as you'll see here, there is some Kreinik that goes up the side. That Kreinik goes to about there, and that is the top of the first page. So then there's, I think, 2 and maybe 1.5 pages, or no, 1.5 pages above that. yet, so there will be a good portion of her that will go into the blue section of the fabric. But since the last time you saw her, I was able to add more of this Kryonic up in here to finish this design in her dress, and sort of just continue working my way up the dress with some different flosses there. So I'm really happy with this and how it's coming together so far, and each time I have it out, I just want to keep working on it because I love seeing the dress come together. I do need to get back to this section over here to start making it look like this one with some of the back stitching and finish some of the ferns and things. So that will be probably my next section that I tackle, just to switch it up from the dress a little bit. But really enjoying it, and she's looking really good. And I think I put a picture up there of her, what she's going to look like, but most of you probably know. Okay, next one is this. Oh, the next one is The Kiss by Mirabilia. And I think got her pattern handy. So this is what The Kiss by Mirabilia is going to look like. She is a massive, or they are a massive stitch. Everything from about here up is full coverage. There's not any blank space in that whole section. So initially I started in the middle of her dress and did some of the dress here, and then I worked my way over to the side, up to the top, over, and now I'm just working my way down. So since the last time you saw it, I was able to add 843 stitches. That puts me at 24.43%. which you'd think it'd be further, but there's like 36,000 stitches in this piece. So this one's gonna be around for a while, but basically all I was working on is more sky. And you'll notice from the last time, I was able to add a bunch of these clouds in over here. And I also worked a little bit on the clouds on this section here, plus a few little blue spots in the corner. Now, the exciting part is the sky has kind of been very boring. Not boring, but just monotonous. It's a lot of block stitching, which is good for getting high numbers of stitches in. But you'll see here, this is the outline of him. So the next time I pull this out, I should be able to start on the brown of his hair. And then her head starts right here. So we're getting very close to the people, and then it will be 1/1 skin time again. But yeah, it's exciting. And then you can see I have some of her dress done here, but we're not at that point yet. So this has been really fun, and I've actually really been enjoying the blues, but I'm ready to get out of those colors now. So we'll see. It could be coming back out because this is still in the Bake Off Challenge. Next up, we have a stack of pancakes. I'll put a picture here of what it looks like. And this was your choice for the Witch Whip. I had you pick between two whips that were chosen at random by the spinning wheel, and the one that you chose was pancakes. For the Witch Whip challenge, my goal for pancakes is to put in 2,500 stitches and then once I reach that goal, we'll do another Witch Whip. So I promised you that I would work on this before this video, and I did, but not very much. I added 105 stitches. So you might not even be able to tell or see what I've added, but I'm going to show it to you because I have added 105 stitches. That means before we can do the next Witch Whip, I still have 2,395 stitches to go. And my goal is to pull this out more. Now, I would love to finish that goal before December because I don't think this is going to get pulled out in December, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes. So I'll keep working. I was able to sorry for all the parked threads. I was able to work down this diagonal a little bit more. So I have gotten almost to the edge of this diagonal here. But it's looking great. I love it. This is by SammyStitchesStore on Etsy. And one of you mentioned that there is also a waffle pattern. So if you're not a pancake person, but you're a waffle person, go check out the waffle pattern. I think that one looks just as good. But yeah, I've got my little pancake needle minder, and the more I stitch on this, the more I'm loving how the full piece is coming together. It is very tedious to stitch on, and I have to be in the right light, the right mood. But yeah, I've just been so busy with the Bake Off Challenge that I did not have time to pull this out more. So 105 stitches, every little bit counts. Okay, next up we have Autumn is Joyful. This is by Lilas Studio, and I can pull up a picture here of what that is going to look like in the end. I'm sure you've all seen it. Samantha, the Higa Stitcher, started a SAL with this year, and so a lot of people are stitching this currently, but here is what it's going to look like. I just love it. I can't wait to get to that big acorn and those squirrels. But I'm still up in the upper right corner, so since the last time you saw me, I was able to add 507 stitches, and that's because this project got eliminated from the Bake Off Challenge, so you won't see this again for right now, but that puts me at 6.51%. And here's where I am now. I've got the A for Andrew. No, A for Autumn, but this is where I got to. So I think last time I had a little bit of this Quaker motif left to do, and I was able to finish that part here. And then I just sort of worked over and added this tiny little one here. I stitched the A, and honestly, I think the A was the first letter I've ever stitched. Is that true? I think it might be the first alphabet letter that I've ever stitched since I came back to stitching. So that was kind of fun. And then I started on this motif here in the center and got about halfway through. So that motif will continue on to the other side and kind of mirror that image. But I'm loving it so far, and just, yeah, these Quakers by Lilas Studio, I love every single one, and each time I get to work on one of them, it doesn't matter which one, I just really enjoy it. So that's been a lot of fun. But this is Autumn Quaker. And this is stitched on. I think I'm not giving you any details today. My brain is so mushy today. I'm sorry. Must be all the running. Hopefully I'll put the stats in with the pictures or as I'm talking about the projects. But this is stitched on a 40 count Winter's Brew by R&R Reproductions. And I realize I missed a lot of fabric in the past couple projects. Okay. Continuing on, so my next one is the Pixel Dragon Adventure Sal. This is by Flossie Fox Shop, and since the last time you saw it, I was able to add 772 stitches. That puts me at 88.53%. And this is still in the Bake Off Challenge, so you might still see this come back out. But here is where I got to this time. And as you will see, we are getting very close to this top corner, which is exciting. But since the last time I saw you, I was able to add in this little motif here, which, does anyone have any ideas of what that is? I'm not sure, to be honest. And then I was able to add in this motif as well. And I got all of the dragon completed here, this beautiful like purple pink dragon. And the outline I got about halfway through. So the next time I pick this up, I will finish that outline, and that will really make the dragon look like it's supposed to, look like all the others. But yeah, I'm really happy with this progress. Happy to be at 88.5% done this piece, and it's still in the challenge, so we'll see where it goes from there. I think I've only got less than 2,000 stitches to complete this one, and whichever WIP wins the Bake Off Challenge gets 2,000 stitches. So if this is the winner, that could be a finish. This is stitched 1/1 on 28 count. I think it's green apple. It's a printed fabric, so it's white on the back, as you can kind of see here, but printed on the front. So yeah, making progress on it, and it's getting there, which is exciting. Okay, we've got 3 more to go, but next up is Christmas Wonderland Sal. This was another project that got eliminated and needed at least 500 stitches. I was able to put in 728 stitches since the last time you saw it, and that means I'm at 88.8%. Now, that is just for there's one release of the pattern from the stitch along that is not included in that. So it actually is a little bit less than 88%. But I think the last section, which is the last section that's released that I don't have included yet, is this bottom section here. And I think that's a little less stitching than some of the other ones. Anyway, what I was focused on and working on was this section over here. and I was able to finish this building here with the little clock in the center, which is super cute. And then I got a big chunk of this building done. I just have this one side to go yet. I also was able to finish or work a little bit more on this person here who is selling wreaths. His stand is not complete yet, but you'll see he's like handing out wreaths here, which is really fun. And yeah, still really enjoying this piece. I do love how it looks, and it'll be so fun, hopefully, to get this done this year around the holidays and have this to display. So this was by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I ordered the whole kit from them. This was a 16 count Ada that came with the kit, and I'm using all the called for floss. So that is where it is. I'll try to do like a little close up here. Hopefully you can see everything. That's the section that I worked on. Yeah, really happy with it. And I will talk a little bit more about this again in my plans coming up, so just stay tuned for that. Okay, we've got 2 more WIPs. The next one is Halloween Quaker, again by Lilas Studio, and since the last time you saw it, I was able to add 521 stitches. I'm now at 10.06%, and I pulled this out a little bit for Halloween on the 31st, and was kind of working on it a few evenings around Halloween just to have something that was in the season. My goal was to finish the witch motif by the end of October, and I did not quite do that, but I got a really good part done. So you'll see here the moon is what kind of extends further beyond this, but the witch herself and the broom is now complete. I'm stitching this with all the Vicki Clayton silk conversions. This is a 40 count Haunted by Seraphim Fabrics. And I'm loving how this is looking. I love where the witch landed on the fabric, how it's sort of lighter around her, but she's kind of coming out of the darkness. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really loving how this looks. So happy to at least have the witch mostly completed. I think this is still in the Bake Off challenge, so it could come back out with that challenge, but that will probably be the only time. I won't pull this out just for seasonal stitching anymore because the holiday is over. So, but again, I love this piece, loving how she's looking, and really happy to have gotten so far on her motif here. I didn't even show you a picture of what that is going to look like. This is going to be a wild video. I guess I was not as prepared as I thought. Here is what it's going to look like. So you'll see I'm just working in the center section there and then have a lot of motifs to go around it. But progress is progress. All right, and the final piece I've got to share with you is SAGA, and I was able to add my stitches that I needed to for the 2 weeks, so I was able to add 1,168 stitches. That puts me at 20.38%. So I am over 20% of this project, which means 1/5 of SAGA is complete. And my goal to stitch it in 4 years before the next leap year is still underway. I've been keeping up with that goal, and that has felt really good. So let's show you where I stitched this time. I think I told you this past time that I was going to be working on this center. I should learn what to call these. This center arch with another one of these kind of single statures that go in there. So yeah, I was able to get all of that completed. And I will tell you a little secret that this whole piece right here is 1 stitch too high, but I'm not changing it. I was able to just fudge it a little bit down here at the bottom. Oops. Down here at the bottom, I was able to just add in an extra row at the bottom of this piece here. And so it all kind of worked out, but it is 1 stitch too high. And that's okay. That makes it mine. But you really, really can't tell. I think it still looks good. So this is my progress on SAGA. So next time I pull this out, I will be working in this center arch right here. And we'll see how far I get as to whether or not I read the story for that arch next time, or if you'll have to wait 2 more videos for the next story. But this is stitched on a 36 count vintage country mocha, and I'm stitching it with Silks for You PR 207 1/2. And I'm just loving it. loving how it's turning out. It's been so refreshing to just be able to keep up with this Sal of mine so far, and really, really hope I'll have this done in 4 years for the leap year. But all right, and those are all my WIPs. You made it through 11 of my projects. It's basically a WIP parade. So I think I've got 20 WIPs total now. But I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a lot of fun to pull out some of these that haven't seen some love in a while. So let's jump into plans now. Okay, plans, you know I do WIP Go, and so November WIP Go numbers were called. Mine were, well, everyone's were number 14 and 17, but 14 for me was Strawberries Forever. That is a piece by Told in a Garden that I started over the summer for Marjorie Maid's Strawberry Moon Sal. And the goal for WIP Go is to put in 1,000 stitches on that piece. So you will see that come out in November and get the 1,000 stitches completed. The other number 17 for me was Celtic Autumn, which I have been waiting to start. I think I talked about this like on my very first video almost a year ago, and talked about wanting to start it. So finally, WIP Go says you may start it. So I will be starting that. The goal for that piece is to put in 2,500 stitches, which is a big ask, but I think I'll be able to do it in November. I should have some extra stitching time coming up, and yeah, should be good there. So because I know those numbers, now we know what December will bring too for WIP Go. So December is number 7. For me, that is complete one house from the Cottage Garden house series, the Fabulous House series that they have. I've been collecting all of them throughout the year, and I do want to stitch all of them on one piece. So the goal will be to complete one house. Now, when I made that goal, I don't think I realized how big those houses were. So we'll see how far I can get and what I can get accomplished there. But we'll try it. The other number for WIP Go is number 20, and this was my other massive ask for WIP Go, which is Fruits of Plenty, and that is to put in 4,000 stitches. So December is going to be stacked with those 2 WIP Goes. I was really hoping they would get split up between the 2 months, but they didn't. So it's a down to the wire for these last 2 months. We'll see if I can get a full bingo card or not. But I'll have fun trying. So those are my WIP Go plans. And that kind of leads me into December plans, which I know is still a month away. We just started November. For me, November will be complete my WIP Go and keep working through the Great British Bake Off show. And of course, hopefully some stitches in Pancakes. So that will be my November. I'm also planning to finally start the Egyptian Sampler by Teresa Wensler that I've talked about for a couple times on this channel. I will be starting that around the 15th of November with Natasha from Britches Get Stitches. She is starting a Sal called #It'sWenslerTime Sal, and she's starting a Teresa Wensler as well. So you don't need to be starting a Teresa Wensler to join that Sal. If you want, you can just work on a WIP you've got already. You can start a new one along with us, but just pull out your Teresa Wensler pieces. It should be fun. This will be my first one that I'll be stitching, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm very excited. So I will be starting that around the middle of November, and those are kind of my November plans. But December, I've got some fun things lined up. So when I saw my WIP Go numbers were 2 big asks and kind of both Christmassy. My Fruits of Plenty always reminds me of Christmas from starting it last year at my parents' house over the holidays. And for the Cottage Garden house, I thought I could start with the Santa house, which would be Christmassy as well. So then I thought I'm going to sort of do a monogamish December. Monogamish. So I'm going to break it up into 4 weeks. The first week of December, my goal will be to finish Christmas Wonderland Sal that you saw earlier. So I'm going to work on that piece exclusively until I finish it. If I finish it early, I'll move on to the week 2 project to try to get ahead so that I can hopefully get all 4 weeks completed. Just because I'm not sure how long some of these will take to finish. So my week 2 project, if I don't finish Christmas Wonderland in week 1, I will just switch over in week 2 to my next project. Week 2 will be Donner by Mirabilia. I started this back in July for Christmas in July, and I will be... Actually, let me grab that. Hold on. Okay, so my Donner project lives in this beautiful bag by Jess from Como Stitches. I'll link her Etsy channel down below. I love her bags. This is a Teresa Kogut fabric, and she was so nice to give this to me to house all my reindeer. So, Donner from Nora Corbett looks like this. I started it in July, like I said, and my goal for week 2 of December will be to finish this piece. And here is my starting point. So I have all of the border completed. That includes all the Kreinik in the border as well. And then I got a decent start on the reindeer and some of the backstitching in the reindeer's antlers here. The antlers are all backstitched as well. So that is my starting point. That means there's still a lot to go in this piece. Donner is not small. There's a lot of stitching in that. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish Christmas Wonderland Sal a little early and then pull out Donner a little early to try to get that completed. But my goal is to finish Donner in that week. So again, that will be my exclusive stitching for the week. Sorry for the zipper. Week 3 will be the Fabulous House from Santa, or not from Santa, from Cottage Garden Sampling. Okay, week 3 will be Santa's House from Cottage Garden Samplings, and this Cottage Garden Samplings. This is number 1 in the Fabulous House series, and it is going to look like this. I thought this was the perfect house to pull out for Christmas, and again, my WIP goal is to finish this house. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm going to give it a go and see. So I will be stitching this on a 36 count linen that I got from Abby Top Knot Stitcher. I'm not sure who the dyer is or what the color is, but it's this beautiful, like sort of light blue, kind of icy blue look here. And it's 36 count. So I think on 36 count, I'll be stitching 1/2. I'll have to kind of test it out a little bit and see how it looks. But this will be week 3 in December, so I will be seeing how far I can get on this beautiful house. And then week 4 for December will be Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. That was also my WIP goal to put in 4,000 stitches. I'm just pulling up the calendar here real quick. So that puts me through, because the first falls on a Sunday, the 4 weeks will put me through the 28th of December. So I will have a few extra days on the 29th, 30th, and 31st to work on any of these projects that I didn't kind of meet the goal yet. So yeah, December should be fun. I'm excited to kind of focus on a few projects. Hopefully I'll have a finish or two, and yeah, just see how far I can go. The other part of December that I'm really excited for, and let me grab this real quick, hold on. I ordered this last year, probably a year ago, almost a year ago. Maybe it was in January, but I ordered the Nordic Holiday Countdown. This is a collaboration between Evertote, Roxy Flossco, and Modern Folk Embroidery. So I finally received this package in the mail, and I'm so excited. This is going to be my daily stitching piece in December. I think for December I will be doing sort of a Flossmas kind of month where I will record every single day, probably at the end of the day, to show you what I worked on through the day and what I got done. But part of that will be opening this advent calendar. Each day comes with I think a skein of floss and that part of the pattern to work on. I don't know what the pattern will look like yet. It's still a surprise. This is just sort of the cover page from what I understand. They also included a free pattern on the back of this as a bonus pattern if you ordered, which looks really cute. I don't know if I'll get to that or not, but they're saying that there's approximately 200 stitches each day for this piece. So I think what I will do is I will stitch this first thing in the morning, and then I will jump to the project that I have allotted for each week. So you'll still see some different projects. You'll get to see the Advent sort of come to life, and then you will also see the focus project for that week, and we'll kind of keep going from there. But I'm really excited to see what all is included in this. It should be fun. Okay, and I think that's all my plans. Yeah, if you have any questions or any comments or anything, please leave the comment down below. Like, subscribe if you're not already. I hope you enjoyed this little update, and I think that's all I've got for you. So keep running if you're a runner, always keep stitching, and be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.